Well, goddamn. Overlord trailer just got released, and funnily enough, this is the film that everyone thought, myself included, was actually going to be a Cloverfield film, but it was confirmed that it's not, and this kind of shows it as well, to be honest. So, like I do with a lot of films that I have been anticipating or I've spoken about in the past, I'm just going to give my review and breakdown and discussion on this trailer. Which, first things first, I like this trailer a lot. And again, you guys know I seldom say that, but I really like this trailer. God damn, it looks fun. I'm sick to death of these gritty films. Gritty films have their place, don't get me wrong, but when it's swamp cinema and that's all you've got, these films, Overlord and say the likes of The Meg, are such a refreshing break from it. This looks really, really fun. The trailer is great, they've got great music, they're setting a great tone, and it progresses in a really nice way. You know, the trailer obviously opens on airships and boats and, you know, the horrors of war, and it truly is horror, and they're setting that tone in that initial few shots, and it looks awful. Like, it's not a nice place to be on those aircraft. Like, you don't want to be there, and rightfully so, because in the very next scene, well, crap, shit hits the fan, it's blown to hell, and obviously it goes down over France. This is, as what I've, you know, learned from the news reports anyway, set around D-Day, I believe, the D-Day landings, and they go further inland because of obviously this incident, which you can see here. The shots look great, the effects on this, again, looks really, really good. The action looks fantastic, to be perfectly honest. It's really, really nice to see, you know, a World War II film which isn't set ultra serious. Obviously, the horrors of war are nothing to make jokes about, but it's nice to see that we can now include some kind of fantastical elements into it, whilst also keeping a very realistic tone, because that's again something which they outline in the introduction to this trailer. You can see that they're, you know, welcome to France, and you can see things are not looking quite as they should be. And what can be assumed is obviously this is a Nazi-occupied village. You can kind of see that, especially the, you know, the lines of dialogue of, you know, there's a lot of soldiers out there and there's only 4 or 5 of us. What are we going to do, so to speak? But obviously they want to get into a specific compound because they can see something is going on. It looks like a deserted village or a deserted town, and obviously that's the reason why they want to get in there, because they believe something has happened to the townsfolk, the villagers, and I assume that's what the woman, the actress is there for as well. She's probably going to be playing a townsfolk, a villager, I would assume. But it looks great. Again, just the way this is shot and framed in terms of this trailer gets my hopes up that it's not just a slapdash put together film. Obviously, this was shot in relative secrecy, but the cinematography behind it looks actually really good. It doesn't look bad by any stretch. It doesn't look amateurish. You know, it genuinely looks like a film which deserves to be on the big screen, whereas then you have the likes of, say, the Cloverfield Paradox, which didn't necessarily look like it would have belonged in a movie theatre. This one definitely does. And again, the reason why everyone thought this was a Cloverfield film is because it was shot in secret, and there are absolutely no details about it. But as the trailer progresses, we see inside this bunker, we can see the chaps walking around, and things are not quite as they seem, and this is where we get that supernatural element, which I think is going to be really, really good fun. The reason I like this supernatural element, and again, it's not to detract from the horrors of war, because World War II was an absolute, it had atrocities left, right and centre, and it was horrendous. It was horrific, it was awful, but we've been making light of this in the games, like, say, Wolfenstein, for years. And I think it's high time that we incorporate some of that stuff into our cinema, because it's entertaining. And if it wasn't entertaining, people wouldn't be buying Wolfenstein. And I like the fact that they're adding the supernatural element. Yes, Nazi zombies have been done to death, but, you know, it's fun to see, and we haven't really seen it on a big screen. Sure, we've seen some really amateurish, bad, low-budget movies, but this looks like it's something else. It's not just zombies. It looks to be some kind of chemical experiment. As you say, you can see them walking around here, and there's some kind of blood, some red liquid. You know, what is it? They've got a Nazi there, or a chemist, a professor of some sort, And it looks to be, anyway, from these kind of shots here, that they're growing, or at least repurposing, the villagers or dead soldiers into a brand new army, which, again, you know, you talk about making light of World War II, but, you know, the Nazis, they had a lot of experiments going on, which, again, this is not, look, I'm not a tinfoil hat wearer, you know, son of a bitch, but they did have experiments going on, and they're well documented. So some of this stuff, and taking it just that little step further outside of what they actually did, it's not outside the realms of possibility to have them, you know, think that they could bring people back from the dead, because they did think some absolutely insane stuff. So I really like that they're poking fun at this and, you know, making it into what one can assume to be a big, medium budget film, and it looks great. I really, really do like the way this is coming together and how it looks. It doesn't look terrifying by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not looking at it going, oh my god, this is scary as shit. But it looks fun. And you get that tone when they kick it in with, I believe, anyway, it's a bit of AC/DC, which is awesome. You know, absolutely awesome. They say chaos, horror, insanity, fear. I mean, how cool is that? It's so, so good. Where they've shot this in terms of the location, I give them props. I really, really do. The uniforms and such, again, World War II films have been done to death, but you know, they're not skimping on any of their, you know, costumes and stuff. It still looks like a good film. And so in terms of, you know, what we can gather from the trailer in terms of the story, looks to be Nazi-occupied village. They have, you know, had to escape from a plane crash. They're in this Nazi-occupied French village or town. There's experiments going on, zombies, mutagen of some sort. And I say mutagen of some sort because you can see potentially that they've infected themselves, and something is going on here. And, you know, you get that awesome shot at the end where the that Nazi professor's just smirking and smiling at these people, and half of his face is blown away. He's clearly still doing all right. He's clearly not in that much pain, but goddamn, he you know, he's ready to go. And you can see like a somewhat mutated soldier of some sort running through the corridors there. Again, doesn't look typically just like a zombie. He looks like he's experiencing some kind of mutation of some sort. So I really like this. I've got to say, like, I genuinely like this. The cast looks good as well. I mean, in terms of who I can recognise, I recognise these people only from smaller budget TV series, but they look good. In terms of the trailer, they look like they're acting their arse off, and I think this is going to be really, really good fun. This trailer came out of nowhere, but goddamn, I'm ultra excited for this. So I want to just kind of round up this review discussion, because again, these review discussions are me just talking shit for, well, I mean, roughly about 10 minutes, just, you know, because of YouTube algorithm and all that kind of stuff. But what did you guys think of this? Have you even seen it? I've linked it down below in the description box. Let me know your thoughts on this. Are you excited for this? It had a story and screenplay by Billy Ray, and it's co-directed, by the looks of it, by Mark L. Smith and Julius Avery, so that will be interesting. But or potentially just Julius Avery. It's the way that they're rounding this up at the end of this trailer that it looks a little bit off. But what do you think of this? Are you excited for this? Did this trailer get you hyped? Did you see any of the things which I saw? What do you think of the story? Mutagen? Zombies? What is it? What do you think is going on? And do you feel the same way I do in terms of, say, you know, the likes of the gritty films that we've just got time after time after time, and for something like this to come out, which is fantastical, serious, but also a bit of fun, does that get you hyped? Because for me, I mean, it really does. Like, you can hear it in my voice. I love this stuff. I think this is awesome. It's such a breath of fresh air from the copious amounts of gritty realism that we've got in this day and age. I like this. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let me know your story thoughts as well. As always, if you're new here, please do hit that subscribe button. Check out all the other videos I've got on offer. I've got an awful lot of crap which I put out on this channel, so take a look. There's stuff you might like. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and a share. I've been Mr. H, and I will catch you in the next video.